What's up, everyone? My name is Edson Cardona, and I want to welcome you guys to the Let's Kick It series. On these episodes, we get the pleasure to be joined by professional athletes, get a little insight on their background and how they made it this far in their athletic careers. A conversation between athletes about their journeys leading them to success. I hope you guys enjoy. What's up, everyone? Hope y'all keeping safe with the COVID-19 pandemic. And my hope is that we are all doing our part in standing in solidarity with the racial justice movement and against police brutality because Black Lives Matter. My name is Edson Cardona. Well, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Let's Kick It series. For all those who joined before, thank you for coming back. For those who are joining for the first time, welcome. On this episode, I have the honor to introduce Augie Williams. Born in Freetown, Sierra Leone, played youth for Nomads in San Diego and for Juventus in Redwood City, and has also played professionally with the Portland Timbers and currently playing for the Los Angeles Galaxy. So without further ado, I want to welcome Augie. Augie, how you doing, boss?
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm good, man. How you doing?
Good, I
Great,
appreciate
great.
it. How's the quarantine treating you?
Man, it's good though. Soccer is the only thing that's keeping me going, but it's definitely it's a crazy times we're in right now. We're just waiting for when this is gonna over because it's definitely a crazy time. But yeah, I'm definitely glad that you have me on this.
No, it's a pleasure to have you. And once again, I want to thank you for being part of the Let's Kick It series. And we'll get started. So, as an athlete, we all have our journeys and where we begin as a little kid playing whatever sport it is. So, when did your journey as an athlete begin?
As a professional or just in general?
Just in general, as a kid, man.
Well, I started off at the age of 3. My father, back in Sierra Leone, he played the game. He loved it a lot. He didn't have as much opportunities as I did and as I have right now, so he couldn't really take it to another level. But yeah, just going with them to the pitch, just watching them, and I was always anxious, wanting to play with the older guys. Some days I could get kicked and I would cry, but it was definitely knowing that the feeling of wanting to play the game I love and just having fun with it. So at 3, that's where it all started, back in Sierra Leone, and then also transitioning to the U.S.
Yeah, and for you, how was that transition? Going away from home at such a young age, and then coming here. It's a different culture, different environment. How was the transition for you now, as you see it? How was that for you?
At first, it was definitely a tough transition because I'm moving from a whole different culture, a different lifestyle. Coming to the U.S., I had to find myself in a position, in a place where it's like I have to adapt to a different culture now. I had to learn how to speak the language, the American English, because we do speak English, but it was different. So
Yeah.
it was definitely tough. Just knowing that I had to try to fit in, to stand out, to make sure that I was seen as a footballer, as a person. It was definitely a tough moment, but I knew that definitely it was just a phase that it would definitely pass. And I had to step through those hard times and then made sure that I could get through the storms.
No, most definitely. There's a lot of things that athletes and people in general, when they leave their home countries, it's tough. It's hard to adjust and adapt at such a young age, and you
Right.
were able to do that. So I applaud you for that. And so, how
Thank
was
you.
it for you now coming in as a footballer? Did you ever see any other sport being kind of your hobby, or was soccer going to be something that you're just like, yeah, this is it, and this is what I want to do like the rest of my life?
No, at first it wasn't. I was just playing because I was introduced at a young age. I was around the sport, so I loved it, and I was playing for fun. I never had a drive to drive me that I wanted to pursue this to another level, but I definitely loved it. It became more of a passion and something that I wanted to do as a career when I find myself in a position where a lot of people told me I couldn't do it. It was impossible. Or where I'm from, no one makes it out of this community or out of this city. And it leads me to why not? Why not? So that was my drive. And then knowing that I have a family back from Sierra Leone, knowing that if I can definitely pursue this and I know that I could do it and accomplish and make something out of it, they would be proud of me. So it was definitely on both sides. Wanted to make my family proud and I wanted to also prove that yes, this can be done. If you believe and work hard in your dreams, I don't see why it's not possible.
Yeah, no, at the end of the day, that mental strength that you talk about, that drive, pushes you to become a better athlete, become a better footballer. And especially it makes you kind of realize like, hey, like I started all the way from the bottom, and
Right,
I'm
right.
proving all those people wrong. And it's definitely not an easy ride, but
Yeah,
it,
it's
it
not.
makes it all worth it when you are where you are now. And so
Definitely.
after the transition, coming into the US and playing in the youth, like you said, like I said earlier, San Diego, you played for Nomads and also you played for Juventus in Redwood City. So getting those looks there, you were able to also transition yourself on potentially going pro. And how were those experiences for you? And what was like the transition or process for you to make it to where you
Um,
were?
Definitely, it took a lot of hard work because I wasn't the most talented or the most skillful player on the field. Um, I had to learn a lot of things on my own, just aspiring people. Like, for an example, Kai Kamara from Sierra Leone, a big influence in my life. Just knowing that in every team, I automatically stood out. It was either I was the only black person on the team, or it was more like I didn't get much of the attention. So I had to prove myself, and I also put in the extra work, working harder. I used to wake up 6 o'clock in the morning before school, put in that work, and go back to school, come back. I was never home. It was like my mom always had a problem with that, right? You're not with the family. But I knew that it was something that I was like, I'm gonna be on this journey, and I know that it's gonna take a lot of work. Even it forces me to move at a young age, at 16 to San Diego. This is something my family did not understand at the moment, but definitely now they look at it and then like, yeah, it was a life changing decision, but it's something that I was like, I have no way but to look forward and not look back. So then moving to San Diego and embarking on that journey, had a great season, scoring 21 goals, and everything just played out. I just felt like it was the right time, the right moment, and it just happened.
No, it's definitely a blessing, You
Right,
can definitely see that after going through what you did go through. I mean, we talk again about leaving your home country, coming all the way to the US, being the new kid. You spoke a little bit
right,
about too not being able to get all the minutes on the pitch that you wanted, also
right.
being kind of on the side if you're the only African American as well. And and it's kind of like that issue where it was an obstacle for you, but you overcame it,
Hmm.
and that's something that can either make or break certain players. So, what
Right.
kept you motivated throughout those years? And now seeing, okay, I made it first with the Portland Timbers and that process, like what kept you motivated until that day when you signed your first contract with them?
I would definitely say my biggest motivation was the people who believed in me. My mother, um, she didn't understand, and she still don't understand everything about the game. But all I knew that she was there to support me, and she would sometimes pay my flight fees on the team because we back then we had to pay for uniforms, we had to pay for travel, backpacks, all of those stuff. So I see that she was supporting me, and it was a motivation, and just where we come from, knowing that we come from nothing, and we come to a place where they say this is an American dream. So it's definitely a dream come true to be in America first of all, and knowing that I've had this opportunities where I'm able to play on better pitches. I have a soccer cleats. I have these opportunities. So why not take advantage of this and make something out of it? So my mom just know that I have your back. And then I was like, yeah, I mean, I have to do this. I have to realize that I'm in a position where I can make something out of it, like I said. And just people, I had friends who didn't believe in me. And that was more of my extra motivation. Um, knowing that I have also friends that I consider friends telling me that it's not possible. So, and this is even till today, I try to tell people that don't let nobody tell me you can't do something if you put your mind to it. So that was my biggest motivation that, yeah, I have to do this. And I grew up in the little city of Hayward in the Bay Area. It was more like only 1%, and that 1% is not here. So I just wanted to make something out of it. And I've always loved the game. It was tough. Like I said, coming from a background, I never stood out in anything except for knowing that I work hard behind the scenes, and then when it's time for the light to show, it'll show. It'll definitely show. And hard work, nothing can beat that.
Yeah, definitely the hard work, and motivation from all these different aspects in your life pushes you, to become the professional that you are now, and
Right.
the man that you are now. And so that process, going to Portland, like signing your first contract, if you can like tell me a little bit about that whole thing. I
Yeah.
mean, how happy were you? Like it was a dream come true.
Yeah. I mean, when I first heard about it from my agent, I couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? I couldn't believe it. I was overwhelmed, very excited. And then when I got there, I saw the players. I was more nervous now because I went from being excited to nervous because I've always been like the tall guy, the fast guy, you know what I mean, on my team. Going to, oh, now there are guys faster than you. There are guys that are even stronger than you. Now it becomes the mental game. I was a young kid at the age of 17. But also, again, sometimes with me, I believe the people around you that can support you in those times, they definitely made my time there very smooth when I came there. I met other players. They just told me to be myself and just play the game that I love and be happy about it and just don't play with no fear. Be confident. Do what I did in the academy, but better and faster and better decision making. And it will definitely show the coaches that, yeah, this kid, he has something, even though he come from an academy, he has something we can work with, and even make that something become a better thing for him, so he can fit on the team. So definitely that was when I got to Portland. I met people. They supported me and helped me my stay there to be more comfortable. And as soon as I got comfortable, I knew that I start scoring goal. And as a striker, you start scoring goals, the confidence start coming in,
Yeah.
and you want to score more goals. You want to score more goals, and you just started seeing yourself like, all right, you're settling down, you're getting confident, and you start playing the game.
Yeah, like you said, that support system that you got at the Timbers, I mean, it definitely
Right.
helped you transition, easily and smoothly for you. So after being a pro at the Timbers, I mean, transitioning now to the Galaxy where you're currently playing at, I mean, how was that transition now, moving from a team and, kind of being not a rookie in the league, but, a rookie on the Galaxy now. So how was that for you in that transition?
Definitely. I came with the mindset that this is me starting all over again. That what I did at Timbers, it was good, but this is me having to come again to a new club and prove myself again because this I have not been playing in this system. I have not been playing with these guys, even though I played against them. It's a whole different system. The coach might want me to do something differently than I was doing back then. So I have to adapt. I have to be ready to learn the new position and stuff like that. So when I came in, I just put my head down. Now I got to work extra again. Definitely, my role in on the Galaxy is way different than when I was in Portland. And even now, from last year to this year, it's a different role because it's a different coach again. I've always had the mindset that I always have to be ready for whatever is thrown at me, just knowing that I have to accept it and learn even if I don't know it. So me moving here, I had to learn a lot of new system. I had to learn the ways of the coach, the team, how he want the team to do certain things, and it was like starting over again. And that's exactly what I did. It didn't matter what I did over there. That's just the mindset I have. Wherever I move, I have to work hard and improve myself. That's just it.
Yeah, I mean, as an athlete, being, playing on one team and getting into another team, you definitely have to be able to adapt quickly and, like you said,
Right,
work hard, because at the end of the day, you're proving yourself that you can do it, and you're also proving the coaches who signed you now that, hey, it was worth me coming here, and I'm gonna
right.
put everything on the pitch, and you're definitely not gonna have no regrets on that. And so, your success has been a blessing, and you came all the way from Sierra Leone. I mean, you left your home country, came here. You ended up going to San Diego, succeeding there. Like you said, you scored 20 plus goals with the Nomads, getting signed with the Timbers, and now with the Galaxy. So, with all that success, who can you credit, or who do you credit your success to?
Mm, I would definitely say it wasn't all for me. Definitely, I had guys along the way that believed in me. Definitely back in Portland, the coaches gave me a lot of confidence. Guys like Kai Kamara, we played the same position. He would always advise me, call me when he sees I have a bad game, and just because I'm a thinker, whenever I have a bad game, I want to overthink the process, and then it's like, well, what could I have done? What could I have done? Instead of just evaluating it and let it go and work on it to be better. It was something that I found myself struggling. I would hold on to that, and it would affect me in different games. So he definitely helped me out with that, and just knowing that as a young kid, I had coaches believing me and giving me that confidence. And just like I'm here in the Galaxy, the coach definitely have that confidence in me, and it makes me want to go out there and make him happy, because when someone believes in you, it's not a lot of people that believe in you. It's not only about football, it's in everything. When you do certain things, you have people who believe in you and people who don't. So the people who do believe in you, you want to actually make them make their belief in you and whatever they invest in you to not just go down the drain, to actually show that, yeah, you can actually make something out of it, and you can reward them for believing you. So definitely that's just how I've always seen it. The people have always invested in me. My mother, players that I look up to as a striker, as just anyone that influenced me. Just definitely learn from whoever I can. I'm always growing. I'm always learning. I'm always having room to learn. So those people that have impacted my life, they definitely made the path to be a little bit smoother for me to be here today.
No, I mean, you said it best, right? You still have room to grow. And
Right.
a lot of athletes, think that they made it all the way to the top, but there's always, that drive that should, push you on
Right.
trying to become better at finishing, trying to become better at, certain things, crosses, free kicks and all that type of stuff. So I'm happy to hear that for you. I mean, it was a smooth transition. You also had role models that are already, in the big leagues, like Kamara, like telling you, like, hey, like, it's okay. It's okay. Like, these games, it's just a little obstacle and, a little bump,
Right.
but
Right.
it's time. I mean, you can grow from that. And so,
Definitely.
I mean, your best soccer moment will get a little bit more exciting right now. The best goal you scored, I don't know, a bike, a free kick, if you can tell us, or somewhere you can, like, it's in the back of your mind, like, dang, that game, I remember like if it was yesterday.
I mean, I think I have.
You can have a
I
couple
wouldn't
of
really.
something too.
I wouldn't pinpoint one. We remember back in Portland, we played against a team back in from Germany. They're called FC St. Pauli. I remember scoring a brace in that game coming in second half. Uh, as soon as I scored the other one, I was willing to go. It was definitely for me. It was just being right there, getting in that header and stuff like that, trying to find those little. Because when I was back in academy days, it was more of a lot of running and running. When I came to the professional, I realized that you don't have to do that much running. You know what I mean? Because by the 60th minute, all that running in different weathers, and especially when we go in some hot places, it's gonna be hot. Running 60 minutes, you're already out of breath. So I would say against St. Pauli, and also another one would be in LA. I think it was against also back in Portland. I scored against Phoenix Rising, so I would definitely say that. In Portland, I've also in LA, I've also had good moments and stuff like that. I'm more of a striker that likes to make runs behind, get in the headers, and then just make that first run. Yeah, I'm not much of a back in Portland. They wanted me to hold the ball. Now they want me to do that, but also do less of defending, more in the box, and where most strikers make most of their goals in the box, and that's where we get our breadwinner and stuff like that. So definitely those
Yeah, I mean,
moments, I would definitely look back on it. It was definitely one of those moments that I remember scoring the goals and stuff like that.
and those are kind of like the memories we live for, you know, as athletes. I mean, those
Right,
times, every time you score, I mean, you're hungry for more, you know,
right.
and you said it, like when you score, I mean, it made you even hungrier to score another goal. I mean, get that drive, put that fire in you to be like, I can make another one, like you said, when you scored
Right.
that brace. And so, what advice would you give to your younger self, if you could, about the journey you've taken so far?
Mm, I would definitely say uh, to not really put more focus on the people who didn't believe in me. It was something that I struggled with a lot because at a young age, I just wanted everyone to believe in me, which is not being realistic. And when people was to criticize uh, my craft or something like that, I put a lot of thoughts behind it and why they have to do this. So, and it was more of that. And I find it a lot of my friends and people that I know are still going through it. They're like, oh, this person I expected to believe in me don't believe in me. And sometimes it can even pushes you to want to stop doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it could come from the people you don't even expect. So, and that's one of the things that I would advise myself to keep more focus and not really focus on the negative of the people that have constructive criticism is good. But at the end of the day, it's not something that you have to dig deep into and just like thinking about it, it will sometimes throw you off. And it definitely did throw me off at some point in my life. And it was something that I need to learn at a young age because I was young. I was just focusing on okay, this person said good about me. Can this person also say good stuff about me? Oh, now they didn't say good stuff. Why do they have to say that about me? Like, this is my family. This is my friend. You know what I mean? So definitely that would be an advice that I would give myself. And even though it'll happen, but it was more of like to be more confident and to be more driven. And it came to a point where it was like, okay, I got tired of it, and then I have to really. But it took a while to get to that gap or that bridge. It was like, okay, now I have to really leave those stuff behind. So definitely, I would give people advice that no matter who don't believe in you, as long as you believe in yourself, that's the biggest thing. An athlete, regardless of being an athlete, regardless of whatever you do, that's the most important thing, to believe in yourself.
Yeah, I mean,
Definitely.
I think that's the biggest, you know, you can be your biggest critique at times, but
Yes.
as long as you believe in what you do and how you do it and have that discipline to keep on going, I mean, you'll definitely reach your goals. And
Definitely.
so I want to talk about a little bit now on how is everything going with quarantine? I know it's been a little bit different. I mean, totally different for you guys and training and all that, but you guys have started, right, playing as well.
Yeah, we started playing, but then we stopped because there was teams. There was a lot of the virus thing. A couple of players had it. It forces us to stop and quarantine more. And but yeah, well, it's great that we're coming back. But definitely, it's been a weird year. I feel like 2020 will be going down in history, definitely.
Definitely.
Uh, and it is something that the future would have to even learn about in school. So it's definitely one of those years. But as a professional, we just got to keep our focus. And no matter if we're off for a month or two, we got to keep working. We got to keep training because when we come back, it's go time. And if you cannot do the job, they're gonna get somebody else that's gonna do the job. That's just it. There's no hard feelings. It's just part of the game.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, you can't get too comfortable when you're there. You know, at the end of the
Right.
day,
Right.
they're looking for people who can perform and be, you know, consistent day in and day out.
Correct. Correct.
Uh, I wish you nothing but the best, man. It's amazing, your story, doing what you got to do, proving everybody wrong. That's kind of like the way people should do it. Athletes either, get broken when people are telling them that they can't make it and give up, but you didn't. So I
Right.
appreciate you. I appreciate the time that you've given us on the hashtag Let's Kick It series, man. And I hope you score plenty of goals, on the Galaxy.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Well, thank you guys for joining us today. Once again, I want to thank Augie Williams for being part of the hashtag Let's Kick It series on this week's episode. Tune in next week and join us with another professional athlete telling us their story.